Hey y'all, it's Shawnnyce back again for the second podcast of the Anger Whisperer. Um, I'm not sure what this podcast is going to be about because I don't want it to just be about me. I would like to be able to get some comments from the five of you that may be looking and listening. The five subscribers that I have at the moment. I think one of those might be me, but that's a whole nother thing. So I just want to make sure I introduced myself last week and we talked a little bit about the fact that I own the domestic violence agency, that I am an anger coach, and the different things that I actually offer. And it again, it's not going to be about me. I want to make sure that I can better serve you guys. So we'll talk about current events, different things that are happening, different things that I find interesting because there's so many things that come up. And one thing I do want to talk about though, and this will probably be the last thing about me, is that I actually wrote a book. And I don't know if you guys remember, but it used to be, you know, you had this whole thing where there was a literary agent. There were people that were interested in your book. They gave you a royalty check, and then this whole thing started. And all of a sudden, you were this awesome thing, which was a writer, and you wrote a book, and everybody wanted it. Well, now it's different. It's a self-publishing world, and so the good news is that anybody can be an author, and the bad news is that it usually costs you money to do it. So which was something that I did not expect. Anyway, the story that I wanted to get out is called What Cheese? This is the book. I'm so excited. This it does say not for resale across the front because they don't want me to be able to sell it without them getting a royalty, I guess. Like I said, it costs money. But the story itself, again, the book is called What Cheese? Um, and it's about life in a maze because it seems that we all are stuck in usually in mazes of our own creation, mazes that we have made. And you don't want to live the same day every day of your life for 75 years. What kind of life is that? And so, what I talk about in this book is the motivation, being able to take that first step, being able to make the changes and control your own destiny and kind of figure out what fate it is that you want to be a part of, not what is handed to you. And so the story talks about a couple of women who being introduced to them to each other, and they talk about the different struggles that they have with insecurities, with not being aware of all the things that can happen, being ill at ease. The characters' names are really cute. So I have Insecure, Ora, Elades, Serene, Got You, um, Mr. Jinx, which is a cousin of Mr. Jingles from the Green Mile. Very interesting character. There's about 12 different ones that live in my head. There's faith, hope, and love. There's logic, apostolate, and large, who the world moves out of her way. She kind of parts crowds as she goes through. Anyway, characters are super cute. They all live in here. So it's very interesting to see them all on paper. But it's a really good story and it talks about motivation because sometimes in our life things come up and we almost want to just sit back and allow things to happen instead of fighting through the difficulties that we face. And so this book talks about how to face those and how to keep going and how to keep moving and how to make your life into what you want it to be. So, story of motivation. And I truly am glad that I was able to get it out. My idea was just to be able to give it away, but it costs to make it. So, that's not going to be able to happen. But I am going to be able to I found a printer here in Las Vegas, and so I am going to be able to start giving the books out, but you can also order them online. So um, it's available at books.buy/what cheese. Let me move my fingers out of the way. So What Cheese by Shawnnyce Nutt. Um, and again, it's available at books.by Shawnee's, no, /what cheese. It's available on Amazon. You can find it in the Amazon store by typing in what cheese, but make sure you include the question mark or you can bring up a whole bunch of information about cheeses themselves. So, anyway, but you can find it on Amazon and you can find it in the ebook, paperback, and hardback, which all my books are hardback because I enjoy them. But this one is available in paperback, so it's more reasonably priced, I guess is the best way to put it. Because a lot of people, it's easier to do paperback. And then it's an ebook. So you can read it on a Kindle, you can do those different things with it. And I'm going to have it made into an Audible. But this itself has been a journey. And I've been reading a lot of different things about, like I'm on TikTok. And so there's book talk, which I didn't realize. And so there's a lot of people on there who share their stories of going through the self publishing journey and the different things that you actually do, like being copywritten and finding the IBSN number and how to do all the different things that go with it. And again, it's a journey. So now there's something else that I know as a self-published author. But I really wanted to get the story out because I think everybody needs to hear it. Super motivational, very excited about it. The characters come to life. And someone told me that and the first edition that I did, that it was like looking at a picture, beautiful picture, but it was just looking at the picture and the picture didn't move. And they told me how to bring it to life so that it turned into a movie, which I'm very excited about because now the characters come alive. Um, uh Aware, she carries a chain and she plays with the chain because I have a thing with my hands and I have problems with when I'm nervous. And so she has a chain that she plays with, and Eladi's has a worry stone and different things that they carry, different the way that the characters come to life. So anyway, if you get a chance, take a look at it. There, this is the soft launch in the first edition. But I'm very excited, very pleased with myself that I did actually get that story out. And I listened to Wayne Dyer a lot, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he says, you don't want to die with the music in you. So I'm glad I was able to get that story out and let it be told. All right. So, again, this is the second podcast of The Anger Whisperer. And this is the last time I'm going to be talking about myself. The rest of it, I want to hopefully get some information from the 5 of you who subscribe. We'll be able to share some different things, some different ideas, and I can see how I can better serve you, and what it is that we can actually offer. There's also something that I do on Linktree, which is it, my handle there is Linktree. I think it's the / anger whisperer. And then if you go on there, there's a course in there. There's a free course on the formula that I talk about, the formula which is conflict times reaction minus emotion equals peace. And I think the best thing for us to do is just be able to not necessarily avoid conflict, but not have such major reactions to it. Because conflict happens every day. Conflict is a good thing. Conflict is entertaining. It makes you curious about different things. It makes you curious about different people. And so I don't want us to necessarily avoid it. And I don't want to always say, oh, just be peaceful. But what I want to make sure that you understand is that your reaction is everything. And so if we can get that reaction down to zero, then your emotion doesn't have to come into play and you will be able to live in the peace that you deserve to. All right. And so with that, um, I hope I've been looking at the right angle. I didn't want to be staring in the camera the whole time. So I don't know if my eyes were up or looking away from you, or what exactly was happening. But like I said, this is the second one, and hopefully by the third, we will be just as we should be, right where we should be. And so, yeah, I believe that I was probably looking off into space. And so, for that, I apologize for the first 9 minutes of this video. I have been staring off into space because I wasn't sure exactly where the camera was going to be set and if it would appear that I was looking down like I'm reading or if I was looking up like I'm off into space. And I probably was. Anyway, I think that this is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I think we'll have a lot of different things that come up, different things that we can talk about. Because I will tell you, at the beginning of this year, I was very worried about the state of the world, about how things were going to go, about the state of the country, and how all of that stuff was going to happen. But in all reality, whatever political party you believe in, whatever you happen to be, it's fair that everybody has their voice. And whoever happened to win just happened to win. No big deal. And we'll get through these 4 years like we got through the other years. And then we'll have other things that come and happen. And I love the country that we live in. All right. And so, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, I've been talking about myself for about the last 10 minutes, and that's not truly what I want to do. Although this is a wonderful place to be able to have a commercial for yourself. So, to all five of you, we will be back next week, and we'll be talking about some other stuff and seeing kind of what's going on, and talking about the upcoming holidays and things that are going to be happening over the summer now that all the kids are out of school. All right, so I will see y'all on the other side. Remember to click the like and subscribe button here. Find me where you go, click the link, stay in the know. I'll see you on the other side. Thank y'all.